Welcome to the Grand Castle. My name is Pamela Keim from Grand Tap Media. We are here this evening inside the Grand Castle Library, which was designed and built by Roger Lucas. He is unable to be here tonight, but we thank you for all of you for being here this evening. We are here to do our 7th book dedication. Colonel Denny Gillem, who is the host of Frontlines of Freedom, which is aired on Wood Radio, is here to dedicate his book to Roger Lucas and the Grand Castle Library. So come on up here, Denny. Thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
Okay. And I know you're used to being on TV and air talking about with Frontlines of Freedom, but we're so happy that you're going to be dedicating this book, because I think it will be very useful for people today. So tell us a little bit about your book and why you wrote it, and what would you like people to get if they picked it off the shelf inside Grand Castle?
Well, first of all, I'm really the editor. There's 19 authors. There's 23 chapters. I wrote 3 of them. My co-host wrote 2 of them, Skip Coryell. He and I edited them and put this book. This is really our effort together.
Okay.
But the concept is that our nation needs to pull together. And when we started writing this book with the idea about a year ago, we felt the nation needed to pull together. Boy, is that true today.
Really.
But
so
our nation was founded on Judeo-Christian ethics with values, and it was intended that this constitutional republic would only survive if the citizens cared about the country enough to stay involved and to hold their values. And that hasn't exactly happened.
No.
So this is a call to action book about going back to our values, about pulling together, about, yes, you and I may disagree on some things, but we can still be good Americans and we can talk to each other. One of the chapters I wrote was entitled, I Hate Hate.
Yeah.
You know, it's one thing to disagree with someone, or even to dislike them, but to hate them, to let that hate rule your emotions, which affects how you act and talk and think, that's an evil in our country. And
I don't know where that comes from, because we've always dealt with people that disagree with us, and we've always had different presidents who agreed or disagreed. We just figured we got 4 years and we'll make another decision. But it has changed the culture of this hate in our nation.
it has. I always consider that if I have a new friend and we agree on 70% of things, that's great, because I will learn from that new friend some things of the areas that he supports that I didn't before.
Right.
I might learn a few things.
Yeah.
And he might learn a few things from me, and that's the charm of who wants to be around people that are 100% like you. There's no growth, there's no challenge. One example, I use this in the opening chapter, is that if you need a car, and I suddenly have a new car, maybe my great aunt died or something, and I give you this almost brand new Mercedes, and your car had died, so you need it, you're driving, and I ask you a year later, how's the car? Oh, it's terrible, it runs terrible. Well, have you changed the oil? Have you ever had it tuned up? If you get something that's really valuable, like our nation, you have to take care of it.
Right.
You have to know who your elected officials are. You have to keep track of them. You have to know what's being taught in school. You have to know what American history is like as being taught in school. You have to take care of the country, or it will fall apart like a car would if you didn't take care of it.
Right. And we can look back in history and see our mistakes, but it's really easy. We didn't live through that era. Today we're all living and we're all making mistakes we don't even know about, that we're going to be judged. That's how I look at it. But all right, so where can they find this book? I mean, is it on Amazon? Where is it? Well,
Yes, Frontlines of Freedom is the name of our show. FrontlinesOfFreedom.com is where you can buy it, but you can also buy it on Amazon. But you have to call it Frontlines of Freedom. It doesn't have my name on it in Amazon. Since we weren't authors, we were editors, we didn't put our names on the book, we probably should have.
Right.
So if you want to go to Amazon, look for Frontlines of Freedom as author and as the title, or you can go to frontlinesoffreedom.com and order it there.
All right, so here's a pen. I'd like to dedicate that book to Roger Lucas. Like I mentioned, Roger Lucas is the designer and builder of the Grand Castle, which is located in Granville, Michigan. Most of you know that, but for our audience out here that's going to see this, in Granville, Michigan, and it's the 2nd largest castle on earth. And he wanted to leave this, Denny, to inspire the next generation. He wanted to leave something behind to inspire the next generation. I think he pretty much has.
This is the way to do it.
Yeah,
It sure
this
is.
is-
It's a positive step forward.
Isn't
Yes.
this amazing? This library is absolutely beautiful, don't you think?
Fantastic.
All right, did you make it out to him? Well, thank you so much. We want to thank you for being here today. We want to thank Colonel Denny Gillem. You can find this at frontlinesoffreedom.com, go to his radio show, or on Amazon. Thank you very much for being here today. We appreciate everyone that's supporting this beautiful castle, which is within West Michigan, and we're going to make this one of the top attractions for people to see when they come here. So thank you very much. We wish you all the success in your book.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.